So, finally, some tips for taking part in communities. Let's ditch some of these quickly. So the first thing is make some time. Easier said than done, I know. But that really doesn't have to be a lot of time. So if you can spare 5 minutes once a week to go onto a community board, share your opinion, share your thoughts on that, that's taking part in the community. It's an active contribution. If you can spare an hour a week, then that's great. You know, what can you achieve in an hour? Or actually, if you're fortunate enough to have downtime in between your projects, and that you can kind of say, well, actually, I've got 3 weeks before I start my next project. I'm going to spend 2 of them doing something to benefit business analysts in my area or wider. Work on the thing that's most important to you. That's where you're going to get the energy from to kind of continue with it. It's challenging. Day jobs are very hard. You know, there's lots of pressures going on. The only way you'll find the motivation to kind of see things through really is to work on the things that you think are important for the community. Collaborate, and I mean this in 2 ways, both in terms of ideas and effort. So ideas, you need to build on each other's ideas and you know, work together to kind of shape something up, and that'll help you get the best quality deliverable for your communities. But the other one is, I haven't mentioned about time. So if you can only spare an hour a week, who else can spare an hour in a week? And you know, if you can get 4 people together who can all spare an hour a week, that's 4 hours a week, and it starts to build up that way. So actually, you know, work in groups within your community, self-organise, and get the things done that you need to do. Look for synergies, and that sounds very kind of business speak, and I think that's probably, hopefully, the only thing that I've put up that sounds a bit managerial. A lot of the time you do things for your projects or you do things for your practice, and actually you're 80% there of having done something for the community. That extra 20% is all it takes to polish it off and to kind of make it public. So if you've already done the work, kind of just spend that extra time, make it public, make it shareable. And also, synergies in terms of development opportunities. Community is a great place internally to try things out. You know, if you've never done certain things, you've got the opportunity to do those within your community that are quite safe. So you'll be able to knock something off of the community and the development need, and perhaps a piece of work you're already doing. Also, if you don't know what you want to do, then just volunteer. Say I've got a couple of weeks coming up that I can spend some time on something for the community, or I don't know what I want to do. I'm happy to get involved and want to do something. So just make yourself known to whoever's kind of leading the communities, and they'll find something for you. Or just share something. If you have a particular knowledge, expertise, domain knowledge, technical knowledge, whatever it is, just kind of make time to share that with your colleagues. Encourage others. This is something I'm particularly keen on. So if people put themselves out there and put themselves public in terms of trying to develop community contributions, then be encouraging of their efforts, and be constructive if you want to kind of give any feedback on it. It's really important that people kind of stretch themselves and put themselves out there, that we kind of continue to encourage that as well within our communities. So that's pretty much the end of mine. So there's a few final thoughts. First one was that deeply believe that our communities, both our internal ones and our external ones, will be the thing that changes, that shapes our ways of working, our profession over the next 12 to 18 months. We owe it to each other to kind of share ideas and share our experiences. There's no point everyone going through the same pain. If we can kind of share knowledge early, that's useful. And hopefully you've taken something away from this. So hopefully either a different perspective on communities, or perhaps an idea for something that we've done that you'd like to do. By all means, kind of feel free to take it, and happy to have some conversations about a bit more detail around those as well, by all means. So that's it from me. So any questions? There's a mic somewhere, if that doesn't scare anyone. Got a question here at the front? Run.
Richard Danvers at National Grid. Did you have to sell the idea of a community to the senior stakeholders? Did you have to build a business case for having a community?
No. I think this goes back to just building it. So you know, you don't need anything to start a community. All you need is a meeting room for an hour or a month or whatever, just to sit down and talk about things. Once that starts to take shape, we've been very public with the work that we're doing and sharing that and getting buy-in to it. And there's a lot of support. And I think one of the things I've seen, and if there's anybody from those kind of leadership communities in the room, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've started to see that through having the internal community, we've actually started to build the understanding of what the BA role is a little bit further, and actually the kind of respect for that. You know, some of these great stats that we've been able to share about your Standish group, about requirements and failure in projects, and how key the BA is in that. We've been able to kind of make those public and create a little bit more respect.
Thank you.
Question at the front here. That's your side, Dave. At the front here. I could probably just wander over there myself, actually.
You mentioned that you have formal training paths for business analysts in the community. But what frameworks have you used? Have you considered BCS, Sophia? Or
yes, we're using the kind of BCS ISAB route primarily, but also supporting that with some of the internal stuff that goes on. So you know, we do some great stuff around stakeholder management, for example, that's just internal run. Project planning as well. Some of those project management skills that we start to throw into the BA role sit alongside the formal training path. But it's a great thing to get things like the ISAB accreditations down. It's, you know, it's fantastic. I've done one of them previously, and it's fantastic how much it focuses people's minds when there's an exam at the end. So it's a great way of learning, and it's a great way of people recognise themselves as professionals as well, that there is something out there that's BA tailored and recognised. So current framework is ISAB related. Not to say that I'm not thinking about the CCBA when that starts to evolve a little bit further as well. I think the thing for us is that the CBAP feels quite distant, so it seems like quite a high, high level qualification and perhaps not accessible to everyone. Any more questions? Time for another one if you want. Oh, another 3. Wow. Oh, we've got one there. Too slow, Dave.
What are some of the challenges that you faced setting up the community, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I think one of the first communities, I didn't set it up, I should say. A colleague of mine, Mike Gamble, started the work in September last year, and I took over chair of the community in January. So, but I'm very aware of the challenges that he had at the time. So a lot of it was about getting champions nominated, so the leadership teams from those 14 chains did that for us and nominated the person they saw to be the most appropriate. But then I think there was a little bit around when you just want to get people together and you're not necessarily sure exactly what this is leading to. People start to feel a little bit, well, are you wasting my time? I'm on a call for 2 hours here, and where's this going? But it's amazing how quickly, with some enthusiasm, that you can start to unlock that within the kind of community and get people really brought into it. So we have different. I'd say we have different levels of contribution from people within that community, and that's right. Some people are very enthusiastic about it, and other people are kind of more recipients. And I think one of the things to acknowledge is that that's absolutely fine with communities, that actually you're always going to get this blend. You're going to get people who are incredibly active, and you're going to get people who are recipients of the stuff you're doing. But I'd say buy-in was one of the big challenges. So, but stick with it.
Hello. Yep. Sorry, this is Prague from BP. I have more of a question from an organizational perspective. So the BA organization within your company, is it a unit on its own, or does it fit within IT, or does it fit within business? Or
okay, so most of our BAs are business side. So all those 14 teams there that I showed you and within our BA community are all business side, they're not IT side. We do have IT side analysts as well. So our community actually links into them as well. So our technology function has a centralised community of practice, or is actually a community as well. So we talk to them and they talk to us, and we share our training path with them, and they share their training path with us, and we kind of collaborate together. But we very much focus on the business side. I think there's one more hand went up, so I think we've got time to take it. And
my question was, do you have other communities within Barclaycard, such as a project managers community?
Interestingly, not so much. I think there's probably different reasons for that. I think one is around where those standards come from in terms of project management. The Prince2 framework, the PMI frameworks are really explicit. There's not much need for kind of variance from outside that. But one of the things that's started to happen for the BA community is that people start to say, why can't we have one of these for our business change managers? Why can't we have one of these for our project managers? So actually, we've started some of that discussion across some of the wider teams as well. So hopefully something will take off in that area as well.
Community, and we found it quite useful to have meetings between the business analysts and the project managers, because if you're working in silos a little bit too much, which can happen, then understanding that interface between the two is quite key, and we've had combined communities of practice meetings.
It's a really good call, and I think James Cadle spoke at the Slough session about kind of promotion of the BA communities and promotion of the BA role generally, and how to do that. And I think exactly that is different messages we want to kind of tailor. We want to tailor something to our IT colleagues that's different to our project management colleagues, that's different to our leadership qualities. We can add something, well, as BAs we can add something to all of them. So I think one of the activities of the community needs to be to kind of act as a promotion point of the discipline, to be honest, and help people to understand some of the things that are challenges too.
And the other thought I had was, shall we take a poll of who has communities in their companies?
Do you know what,
and who's actively involved in those?
That's a really good one. So
we could actually all stand up if we have a community in our business in the office.
Let's do that.
Oh, I thought I might.
That's about half, isn't it?
Yeah. So have a look, see who's sitting near you who has a practice and who you could talk to about how theirs works. And then the other thing would be, stay standing if you're actively involved in that practice.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Sign.
Those are the folk to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Okay, so running out of time now, so if anybody wants to contact me, really simple, david.avis@barclays.com, David Avis BA on Twitter if you want to do it that way, or obviously catch me later, and I'm happy to take any more questions.